Okay, I'm gonna walk to the gym. Now I'll just do the front view of the camera because the light is in the wrong place. I was just doing some preliminary testing. You know, that's why I'm walking backwards, because when I turn it around, you can see it casts a shadow. And I'm wondering if there's a setting here in the GoPro to auto balance the light. And I know the phone camera does this, or it's probably another accessory. I already got a list of like 4 or 5 accessories I have to buy to deal with the sound issues. You know, so it's like McDonald's, you know, they have the base hamburger and they don't make any money from that. And then you buy the Coke and the fries and that's all profit. You know, the Coca-Cola is like 2 cents, the fries are 20 cents, and they sell the cola for $2 and the fries for $1.50 or something. And that's all the profit, and the burger is barely, you know, barely pays for itself. So I think that's what GoPro is. GoPro is in the plastic business. You buy this base camera, but then you got to buy all these accessories. They don't cost a whole lot compared to the camera, but I'm sure it's pure margin because it's just molded plastic, you know. So, you know, if you're committed to buying like 1 million units, they probably get it for pennies each, and then they sell it for $30, $40. You know, it's like the phones with the wires. You know, the wires are, you know, you pay $12, $10 for a wire, and at least in Europe or Norway, but it's only pennies to produce. So same sort of thing, you know, same sort of thing. So I'll just flip now the camera and yeah, and then just to show you the way to the gym. So yeah, this is just the Avalon back here, like where we're walking from. And then yeah, so yeah, yesterday we went to the Strisky Park. I was testing the camera on a different mode, you know, with the wide angle lens. It's kind of trippy. It's like everything is kind of bended towards the center in that mode. I like this standard mode better without the wide angle. You know, this is more just showing how things are. But yeah, I think over time these videos will get better, and I'll have to figure out this lighting thing, you know, because the sun is not in the summer in Ukraine, it's always in the wrong place when you want to make videos. You know, it's always yeah, it's always not in the right place. So yeah, just this week has been, you know, starting up, you know, this new job. I guess I'm already a month and a half in, but the first month I was just getting on board, waiting for IDs and access and all this stuff. Really wasn't doing much, and now it's gone like full board, you know, all in, all hands on. And it's a tough project, you know. It's a really big and ambitious project, and it needs more management. It's like 8 projects in one, and I'm the only one who's at all a project manager, program manager on it. And it's I guess if I wanted to, luckily I'm paid hourly, so if I wanted to go to 50-60 hours a week, I could make some bank, but then I won't have energy for anything else. I really like to, you know, I really took to heart this Scandinavian way of living even before I moved there, that I really wanted to balance, get the right amount of sleep, right amount of exercise, right food, and keep work in perspective. I'm definitely not one of these workaholic types, you know, because it doesn't get you anywhere. You need to have you lose your efficiency, it burns out, it's not sustainable, and then the creativity goes down, the efficiency goes down, all these kind of ideas and everything. So yeah, so yeah, this is the McDonald's. McDonald's will be coming here. This is the site, U.S. Embassy, you know, southwest Lviv. You know, I always thought McDonald's should issue travel visas and everything. You know, it's like they have all this perfect logistics and everything. They could just have a U.S. diplomat have an office at the McDonald's or something, and they could issue these visas and do the interviews there, instead of setting up these elaborate embassies with all these walls and everything. I mean, I suppose that's needed because they're doing a lot of other stuff there, but the routine visas and, you know, this kind of stuff maybe could be handled in some smaller offices, more spread out, instead of people having to make a pilgrimage to Kiev, you know, to do interviews, or a pilgrimage to Warsaw. You know, they could probably be spread out with work with some American company like McDonald's. You know, it's a joke, but it's also practical. You know, it would boost the tourism to the U.S. You know, boost all the embassies and everything. So you can see we got a fair amount of traffic even on a Sunday morning here in Lviv. So yeah, this is all like yeah, this is the walk to the gym. And I think I've taken you on these walks before with the phone, but you don't get this like stereo view. Even if I put the phone on the side, one of the comments said it just, I don't know, it just never looked right. It just was, and it's also really hard to hold the phone. I suppose I could have bought this equipment to hold the phone and everything and use it like that way, but it's yeah, I think once I get used to this, it'll be better. So yeah, we have some single family homes here, just in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, we have these like annoying scooters like in Oslo, you know. Yeah, they're all over Lviv now. They're not as nice as the Norwegian ones. These ones take a pounding, you know. So here's the neighbor with all the chickens. You know, the chickens in the front yard. You know, it's yeah. Like I said, there's a reason why I like living here. You know, it's just a little bit, you know, it's 1950s America. Things are still catching up. So yeah, let's see if they have the chickens out today. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, you can see some chickens in the background over there. Yeah, they're having a good time. Now this GoPro also doesn't have a zoom. I think there's probably an add-on lens, you know, to zoom in, zoom out. I have to look at that too. So this is just like meant for landscape views. Now I have a friend, he's got like some little camera. It looks like a pen, you know, with like a little hammerhead on it, you know, which is the camera, and it moves around. You know, he can hold it like a pen, put it in his pocket. It's like more concealed. It's not so obvious like this, and it looks like he gets good views out of it. So I suppose this technology is advancing. This GoPro 10 is actually like 2 years old. There's a GoPro 11, but the guy at the shop said that's overkill for what I want to do. That's more like if you're like snowboarding and, you know, skiing down Mount Everest or something, and you want to, you know, it's meant to process the images faster, that you're doing stuff in the air. And so this is, yeah, I always buy like the last year's model. You get a good discount, you almost have the same performance, you know, so it's same sort of philosophy here. But yeah, I don't know if they could get a zoom, if they have a GoPro model out there, or there's an attachment to do the zooming, you know, and then maybe that would be kind of cool to zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, so as you can see in Ukraine, we have nice sidewalks here. You know, this is like something in Norway too. You got nice sidewalks. In America, it's almost non-existent to have these pedestrian walkways. So you walk a lot when you live here. You know, you're not driving like 200 yards to the supermarket or 200 yards to the convenience store just to pick up a Coke. I mean, you get a lot of walking in. And if you can engineer that into your life, like you live close to where you work, so you're forced to walk 30 minutes, 40 minutes each way, you know, you take the steps, it can do wonders for your health. So this is the garage. It's an auto repair place, but there's also a restaurant in there called the Garage. This is like our little Home Depot here. It's a hardware store. I wouldn't say it's Home Depot, it's more like Ace Hardware. We have Epicenter, which is like the Home Depot. And then this is another garage kind of place. They put wheels and rims and everything. So I live in like a car repair hardware store district. But other things I showed you on a video the other day, the offices are coming. Like you have this project here, Globus. So it's becoming like a Silicon Valley area, but before this used to be some area for getting your car fixed. There's like a dozen car garages around here, you know, and in here there's a whole bunch of those secret stores, you know, that are just like hidden behind a metal door. And this Canadian-Ukrainian flag, this is Meast Delivery Company. Meast is a Canadian-Ukrainian UPS type of thing. And this is another repair garage. These guys actually inflated my basketball. They have the pins for the basketball there to inflate them. So yeah, this is this new building. This has been going on for a long time. I think even before the time of Avalon, they started building this. It's just slow. Like I said, when you buy an apartment here, new build on the you know, just off the drawings, when they haven't broken ground yet, you're taking a risk. You know, they may not even finish, and you'll get all your money tied up, or a good part of your money tied up for years. You know, so we have like a labor shortage here, as I was talking about. It's the construction trades here is in like severe deficit, and you know, the men, young men who are capable of doing this kind of work, or even women for that matter, but you don't see too many women here in building trades. They'll go into IT. You know, IT is a lot quicker to learn and get up to speed and make really good money. You get paid in dollars, you know, so the smart guys, you know, they go into IT. But there is tremendous opportunity to go into trades, just like in America. A guy who's smart enough to be a good plumber, electrician, he's going to go into IT or engineering, or try to be a lawyer or something. But yeah, this is the project. It's just plodding along. I mean, like I said, this has been going on even before I moved into Avalon. I mean, if this was an Avalon project, this would be finished and lights would be on, people would be in there, the shops would be open, but we're gonna have like a shopping center here. So yeah, everyone is suffering from this. And as I was saying in the last video, you know, when I was in Dubai, I noticed all these Pakistani and Indian workers doing the construction. And if they're doing a good job there, I mean, the buildings get done pretty fast in Dubai. Things get built fast. As much as I didn't like Dubai and thought it was overpriced and cheesy, and you know, I didn't like the way they treat those workers, maybe Ukraine could make them an offer to come here. They would have better treatment. You know, it would definitely be a better life if they had a path to citizenship here, and they could bring their construction trades with them. You know, because we need, if they're going to rebuild this country, they're going to need the people to do it, and they're not going to be able to take it from the army. The army is going to have to even get bigger, you know, so the army is going to suck up a lot of people too. Maybe they'll have a draft thing where everyone has to go and do 4 or 5 years, and then they can come out and do trades. But that's a long horizon. We can't wait around 5 years for the guys to come out and then do 2 years of trade school, do another 2 or 3 years to get the proper experience to confidently take a job like a high-end apartment renovation, or you know, building a commercial, you know, office building like this, you know, that's like at international standard. I mean, that's like 10 years before we could realize that. And then you know, so yeah, we need another solution. And you know, after being in the Middle East, I think that could be viable. I mean, if anyone's watching this video and wants to try this with me, or interested in this, I would love to partner up with somebody, at least as a thought exercise to how we would work this. How would you get them visas? Where would they live? What kind of costs are required? You know, how much money we could make. I suppose there's people here who have money that would be willing to pay anything to get their apartments renovated. You've seen some of the building material they have and the kind of cars they buy. I mean, there's even a Lamborghini now in my apartment complex, you know, and that's like some Kiev money is flowing in here. So maybe if you start small with a crew of like 3 or 4 guys, you know, like you have a plumber, electrician, you know, flooring guy, and then you have you know, the guys that do the sheetrock and walls and painting, you know, like a general contractor, and then like a laborer, you know. And I suppose the plumbing and electrician guys can double up on some other smaller things, like setting up internet service, smart home. I guess that would be the electrician, and usually the plumbers. A lot of plumbers know tiling. A lot of plumbers kind of also do the tiles. I've seen that in Chicago a lot, that they're kind of double skilled in flooring, at least with bathroom tiles, because a lot of plumbers end up building the bathrooms. I don't know how cross-functional the Indian workers would be. I imagine they're all like just in a narrow thing. So that's something you got to figure out too, is like how cross-trained are these guys? Because like when I got my apartment renovated here, there was this guy Yuri. He kind of knew it all. He was able to do the molding. He was I mean, we still hired a specialized electrician, specialized plumber. I was demanding that because I couldn't afford to have that screwed up. So yeah, plumber, electrician, then like a jack of all trades, like who can do the walls and do the tiles and the flooring. I suppose, yeah, after you've done a floor a few times, like in an apartment, and like one of these, like this is another new apartment that's still, see, all the stores are empty. We have kind of our own retail apocalypse here. There's all this like retail space available here. Everything is going online. Even here in Ukraine, I've noticed you can get everything off Rosetka. That's like Ukrainian Amazon, and OLX is like Ukrainian eBay, or Ukrainian Finn.no if you're Norwegian. So yeah, so you need a tile guy, electric guy, like a flooring and walls, a guy, probably there is a guy with 10 years experience who knows how to do all that, like all the general stuff. And then the kitchen, you order out from a local shop here. I know a guy, Ruslan, who does that, who builds kitchens and cabinets and things like that. So that probably can get ordered locally, and probably his business could be supplemented by some just labor guys, skilled labor who've had carpentry experience. That's carpentry, that's what I was thinking of. That's the word, carpentry. So usually carpentry and flooring kind of go hand in hand, because it's just measuring and cutting. It's just the materials are different. Yeah, maybe you could pull it off. 4 guys, carpenter, plumber, electrician, or 2 carpenters, because yeah, 2 carpenters, plumber, electrician, and that could work. If they have a lot of experience and you bring them here, you got to get them housing. I mean, you have to be able to pay them for a year, and get their visas done, and they're going to be skeptical because they're all like, hard set on Dubai. Dubai's got all that gloss, but here you can actually have a life. They learn Ukrainian, they can become a citizen. It's going to be EU one day. They're not going to be like having their passports taken away and forced to work 16 hours a day. And they'll blend into the society. Some of these guys will be bachelors and they'll just marry in, and yeah, it'll be just like living in Europe. So that is, yeah, I'd be very interested if anyone wants to do this thought exercise and figure this out. I have to look at all my notes for my renovation and see how many different tradespeople were there. But as I remember, it was mainly this guy Yuri, and then he would just bring in some buddies to do stuff. And then we had a separate electrician, separate plumber, highly skilled. I mean, the electrician I got, this guy Igor, he's living in Germany now. He works for Bosch. And I think the plumbers, they own their own business here, and they do the floor heating. They're booked out 2 years, I imagine, from what I understand. So yeah, I think a crew of 4, and then a general manager, like myself, would start out with that role. Hi, and how are you? How are you? Yeah, I would start out with that role, and yeah, we would be there. You can see it's very active here, so yeah. So I mean, yeah, just sorry, I lost my thought. It was just some people were saying hi and everything. It's friendly here. No one's freaking out about the camera today. But yeah, if we could bring some builders here, and because there's going to be this huge rebuilding of Ukraine, right? And then there's going to be nobody to do the work, because they can't, like I said, they can't draw down the army. As soon as they do that, the Russians